After a destabilizing relationship, many survivors quietly begin trying to think their way back to themselves. They reflect, they analyze, they revisit decisions, they search for clarity in what once felt confusing. From the outside, this can look like commitment, like someone taking recovery seriously, like an effort to make sure the past is fully understood. But internally, the experience is often more complex. There can be a sense of distance from who you once felt yourself to be, a subtle pressure to organize your thoughts well enough that your identity will begin to feel familiar again. For many survivors, this creates a quiet belief that identity stability should eventually follow from enough understanding. When that doesn't happen, it can feel difficult to interpret. Not because you are doing anything incorrectly, but because identity does not reorganize in the same way that insight does. Thinking helps create meaning. It helps you recognize patterns that once felt unpredictable. It helps you understand how disruptions unfolded over time. But identity is not only something you understand. It is something your system gradually becomes able to rely on again. During prolonged instability, many people adapt in ways that make them more externally oriented, more attentive to subtle shifts around them, more cautious in how they interpret their own internal signals. These adjustments are often protective. They help maintain psychological balance in environments where certainty becomes difficult to sustain. Insight can help you recognize that these shifts occurred, but recognition alone does not immediately restore a steady sense of self, because identity coherence does not return simply through explanation. When people assume that understanding should restore identity, ongoing instability can begin to feel personal. They may wonder whether they have not processed deeply enough, not reflected thoroughly enough, not reached the realization that will allow everything to settle. But identity does not stabilize through intellectual reconstruction. Identity steadies as your system gradually recognizes that it no longer needs to organize itself around ongoing disruption. This process is often quieter than insight. Understanding can feel like a shift in perspective. Identity stability more often develops as a reduction in internal effort. This is also why many survivors continue searching for the insight that will bring them back to who they were. Over time, what tends to emerge is not a return to a previous identity, but a sense of continuity that feels increasingly dependable. As this phase unfolds, the pressure to analyze every internal change often begins to ease. Questions about identity may still arise, but they tend to feel less urgent. Uncertainty may still appear, but it carries less destabilizing weight. This does not mean identity is fully settled. It often reflects that stability is becoming less dependent on constant cognitive effort. If paced support would feel grounding during this phase, Power and Purpose Academy offers a structured environment designed to support identity coherence and the gradual restoration of internal authority, without urgency or performance pressure. You can explore that below whenever it feels appropriate. And if you prefer to continue orienting here for now, that is completely valid. We'll pause here.